Anik's typing. I'll give you the YouTube one, he said.
I said that.
Oh. YouTube one, he said. No! Ah! Please, please, please delete.
What is it, please for?
Please delete that. Delete that!
Yeah, it's live now. I can't delete it.
Can you delete it later?
Dad's gonna be watching a dance. He's gone.
No, don't.
Jump on.
Ah, that's embarrassing. Why didn't you tell me?
No, typed it now.
Why didn't you tell me before? Well, you're on the group chat.
Go downstairs.
Why?
Just tell me. Hello. Speaking 1, 2, 3. Comment below if you can see this on YouTube, please. I'm gonna get Anik to join. Oh, someone's here, I think. We should try for captions, graphics. Trying to. How do you change the setup
Make it here.
title? What are you whispering for? Say hello.
Hi.
What are the oh look, Dad commented. They said yes, they can hear me.
Subscribe to my channel, please.
I'm trying to change the title though.
Can you hear us now?
Hmm?
Can actually hear us right now.
Yeah, they can hear us. Go downstairs, Josh will see it. Go on. See what they're doing. Let me know.
What's it gonna be on?
Yo. Just go downstairs, you'll see it. Hello, what are you up to, man? What you saying? I got a special guest coming. A special guest. Discussion. Let my special guest come. I've changed the title of the stream, man. More edit. Oh, here he is. Breaking news. Hmm? Who? Oh, Dad in the room. Okay. You can put it on Dad's TV then.
I'm watching with Dad.
You're watching with Dad. Okay. Share. Don't worry, I got a new coming. My special guest. I got my fellow Chelsea fan joining to discuss the problems at Chelsea Football Club right now. What can you say? What can you say? Who else is alive? Who else is there? edit. Uh, what's not clear? My face or the audio? What's not clear? Um, okay, I'll get my special guest on the line.
Hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Shazib. How you doing? You're right.
I'm good. I'm good, man. How are you?
Not too bad. A bit hurt, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, what's happened is happened. We've got to move on to the next chapter. It is now. So it's got back to new manager, isn't it?
What was your first reaction when you first come through?
So obviously, I woke up quite late in the morning. So obviously, I didn't see until about 1 o'clock, half one. I went on my phone, and the first thing I see is this Lampard trending. I wasn't shocked because I was kind of expecting it, but it does hurt because he's a club legend at the end of the day, and it's just sad the way that he's gone now. Hopefully, in the future, he can come back in some capacity, maybe even manage in the future sometime. But for now, it's just a goodbye.
Come on, Mohammed Rafiq. Too many chapters. It's just the way we run. Like, you guys have waited 30 years for one league trophy. Remember that. So, is what it is. But when were you ever Lampard out? Did you want to give him more time? What did you think about the initial
So
second?
obviously, with the beginning of the season, he had quite a lot of signings, and obviously, it takes a bit of time to integrate all of them signings in. And we started the season quite well. We went 17 games unbeaten. You know, we was finding our feet, getting the players to get into the manager's system and whatnot. But then for the past month and a half, I think after the Leeds win, it was where we played really well. We were top of the league. I think after the Leeds game, the energy just dropped off. I don't think the players were on the same wavelength. Injuries may have caused a factor, maybe COVID to some of the players, but I think at the end of the day, Lampard didn't have like a clear style of play. And I think that's what's caused him to lose his job. And the players haven't quite fitted into that system, fitted into his instructions, his tackle instructions. And with the results that have happened in the past month, I think it was as a matter of when rather than if.
A lot of rival fans are saying it's too early and he deserves more time. What would you say to them? Like, obviously, they don't know how it feels like to be a fan right now as Chelsea, and they haven't seen us play in the last couple of weeks, maybe a month now. Only you have seen it, and what do you think about that? Like, is it too early? Should he be given more time?
It is
And on top
tough,
of that,
I've
before
got to
before
say.
you go, you gotta take the legend status out of your mind because coaching and player is two different things. So you gotta
That's I
take.
was I was I was just about to say that point actually because when he was appointed 18 months ago, he did say, "Judge me as a manager, not as a player here." So obviously, judging him as a manager is quite it's naive. His naivety's got in the way of him. I think like he's only been a manager for 2-3 years max, and I don't think he's got like a fallback option if times are going tough. I think that's another issue. Like he's not got that experience in him to quite like rejuvenate the squad, if that's the word. So I think obviously with that experience that comes in time. Obviously you look at the top managers now; they've been around for a good solid 7-8 years, even longer. You look at Pep Guardiola; he started at Barcelona. He's been around for so long, managed Bayern Munich, Klopp at the same time, Borussia Dortmund for a good 7-8 years, came from Mainz. So obviously the top managers have that experience, and with Lampard, he started off at Derby, he had the year there, and he hasn't quite had that experience to quite have a fallback option if times are going tough. And I think like with this period that we've had, he's not had that experience to quite use it and utilize it within the squad. So obviously that has played a factor. And obviously, if you look at what the board have said, the board have said that it's been it's been a tough decision, might I add, but he's not quite the right manager to lead us forward.
Yeah, sorry to stop you there. We got a certain Farad Ghani commenting right now, who
Right.
is a United fan, saying we're gonna win the league. I know you don't like it. I mean, listen, Farad Ghani, enjoy your moment. I know you guys are smashing it right now. Yeah,
I know
the
a lot
point,
of rival fans are loving this at the moment, are they?
yeah, you can't blame them. You can't blame them. I'd be doing the same, but you gotta see, you gotta give them time. Let's see if you can keep it up consistently and see where you go from there. Don't forget, we were top of the league at one point as well. We were up
Exactly.
there,
Yeah, exactly. After the
and
Leeds
look what
game, we were
happened.
top, and it's just the season really hasn't it been up and down. A lot of
It's,
teams, not just
it was
us.
literally the same scenario. We were beating the teams we should have beat, and the top teams we were bottling it. Same with you guys. You still haven't been a top six, but like I said, time will tell, man, on how we can judge you and how well you have done, basically.
Just
What do you got to add to this?
a quick insight with United as well. Like, yeah, fair enough. They've got a club legend as the manager, but that manager's been around for a good 10 years or so. He's been to multiple clubs. He's like he's got that experience, if that's what you can call it. He's won championships at Molde. Maybe they're not as big of a club that other people say, but he's had time at a club to implement his system. Like just that experience, if you know what I mean. Maybe
Sort of
that's
like
kind of helping him now.
What Gerald's doing, yeah.
Yeah, Gerrard is a prime example. He's now come straight to the Premier League. He's gone to a
Mm.
Scottish Championship. He's doing really well with Rangers. Been there for about 2 years now. If he keeps it up another 3, 4 years, maybe even come to a Championship club before that, you never know. He might be the right. He might be Klopp's replacement soon enough. You never know.
We got another comment there saying worst manager in Cardiff history, and with the arrow lamps. Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, on the Lampard topic, in the first year, no one can deny he did a good job, whether you're a Chelsea fan, United fan, Liverpool fan. And he did give us a lot of hope, whether it's me, you, whoever it is. The second
Yeah,
season is where he got tested, reality has hit, got the signings done, and it just, when the pressure's got to him, he hasn't really done well. Last year, we predicted him to finish sixth. Well, some people did. I think you
yeah.
predicted
Outside the
fourth.
top four, outside
I
the
think
top four, maybe just about scraping fourth even. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, and that's the reason why I was always backing him all this time. Start of the season, mid-season, whenever you want to call it. But within time, I think myself, I realized he just needs more experience and needs to go out there and just gain them experience. Like it's just not looking good. Like you've seen us play in the
yeah.
last month. It's been terrible. If Fulham never got that red card, I honestly think we could
Like
have.
some of these games have been hard to watch. Like
Like,
there's been
even the games
moments where
we
I just
won,
want to. Yeah, I've been
we
wanting to turn
could
my
have
TV
lost.
off. I didn't want to watch the game. Like it comes to that point where there's no clear direction of play. There's no
Mm.
clear direction of play. No style implemented. The players look lost. There's no tactical instructions even. It's just it's just difficult, isn't it?
Like with Liverpool, right? They're in a bad run of form, but they're playing well. You get what I mean? They're just missing a lot of chances. The attacks not firing.
Yeah.
If it was the same for us, we got a certain dad who's trying to. Your team's doing crap as well, guys. Hey, can you close the door, please? What are you doing, man? Stop interrupting. Go with that. I'm trying to talk serious. But yeah, with Liverpool, right? The attackers are misfiring. They're not playing well. They're playing all right, getting chances, but losing. If
Yeah.
that was the case for us, it's a different story. Like say, if all our strikers and midfielders were playing well, creating chances, just the players not performing. And okay, I flopped up there, yeah. But it's the first time everything. But yeah, back to the story. If we were in the same case as Liverpool, it's a different story. But just
But
no
with
one's playing
Liverpool
well,
though, like with their manager Klopp, right?
and
He's
they
had
got stuff, obviously.
They've
Yeah.
got Klopp. Like he's got experience to turn things around.
Mm,
He's
mm.
he's he's literally he's been at Borussia Dortmund, a championship winning team. They know how to turn things around. He's got that experience within him to make sure that Liverpool team doesn't just like collapse, if that's the word. Like just not listen to the
Yeah, yeah.
managers. But so
Like
they've been together for a good 5, 6 years now. So they know that they've got a good understanding of what to do together.
yeah, it's with any team. If you whether you win, draw, lose, performance is a big thing, and our performances have been so bad. Like I said, even the games we won, we haven't been at it. Fulham, we could have easily lost that. The red card never come. Who knows? But here's what it is. We got a question from one of the guys. Who is Chelsea's worst signing this season, in your opinion? If you
You
if
wanna
you were to say, if you were to say so far, obviously there's still a lot of time left in the season. It's still got a couple of years left.
worst
So if
signing?
you, so far, we've made a lot of signings this year. I guess
But
most of them would be debatable. It's not like a clear answer, in my opinion.
phew, with our signings, right? Like you've got Havertz, who's like come for 72 million, right? But
Mm.
he's been used in three or four different positions now. Yeah, he
Right.
started in Brighton playing at right wing, and
Mm.
that was on 3 days training. So obviously that's not really ideal for a new signing coming from a new league, a young player jumping
Mm.
straight into a game in not maybe his favored position. So
Yes, it did.
he's been used out of position quite a lot, and obviously with having a month and a half out with COVID as well, that can have your effect on your respiratory system as well. So, and Werner, obviously, we've seen Werner's form recently. His confidence just shot off here. He's missing a lot of sitters, a lot of open goals. So, if I was to say we're signing, I'd have to say Werner because
Okay.
Havertz hasn't had the same amount of time as Werner has. If that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a fair point, I guess. Like, if I was to say for so far, I'd personally go for Havertz because Werner actually, at the start of the season, he did show a bit of form on what he's about. And I know he's missed a lot of sitters, which he deserves to get criticised for.
Yeah,
His in-game play has been decent. Like, it's not like, if he's not scoring, he's not doing anything. Like, he's still trying to make them runs,
yeah,
trying to, assist the players and stuff like that. But with Havertz costing so much, obviously, this is a matter of so far. For me, he hasn't
yeah.
Havertz so far, which could change at the end of the season. Who knows? You make good points by him in
Understandable.
different positions and not what COVID as well affecting him and stuff like that. But I think eventually, hopefully, he does come good. But you just
I
gotta
think
hope.
it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time of when Havertz will come good. Because if he gets a good, like recently as well, Lampard hasn't been playing him in games. He's been coming off the bench, so he needs a good run of games in the team as well to
Plus,
show what his
yeah,
quality is about.
if you look at the
With Werner,
signing as well. Go on, carry on.
if yeah, with Werner though, he's had a good run of games in the team. He's always been in the team, the number one. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
say
yeah.
number one on name on the sheet, but he's been in that team quite consistently. So
Mhm.
that's the reason why I just tilted
Yeah,
towards
fair enough.
Werner over.
Matter of opinion, yeah.
Yeah,
Like if you look at the signings in general, like it's all the players that have experienced or played in the Premier League that have done well. If you look at Chilwell, Thiago
yeah.
Silva, Ziyech, I know he hasn't played that much, but when he has played, he's looked really well.
Yeah,
Mendy
Ziyech
as
when he
well.
came into the team, he showed a really
That's what
good.
I'm saying. It's all the most experienced players or the players who have been there before, like Chilwell and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And moving on to that next question, Zizou says, "Who is your best signings so far?" Would you say?
Thiago Silva, without a shadow of a doubt. Obviously, he's come into the team, most experienced. He's even become the second choice captain when Asper's not playing, or
Mm,
Jorginho's playing. So he just come in, showed up that defense, made us a bit more tighter at the back, and even chipped in with a few couple of goals, from corners as well. So he's contributing with goals from set pieces. So yeah, I think Thiago Silva is my shout.
yeah,
What
I've
about
got
yours?
100%. Like Chilwell's a good shot as well. He's come in.
Yeah, Chilwell in the
He
left
had
back.
a
Yeah,
lot of questions as well, like whether he'll do well or not. He's done well, but for me, Thiago Silva, like the experience, the leadership, everything inside the dressing room,
yeah,
outside the dressing room, he's just been one of those signings that we needed badly. And my question for him was at the start of the season if he can do it, you know, in a season basis
yeah.
consistently. But
Because
so
obviously
far,
with
so
his
good.
age, he's 36 years old. Can he keep you up weekly?
Exactly. He made that mistake in the first game, literally in his first touch.
Yeah, that West Brom game, that was
Yeah, yeah. He happens
yeah,
to the best players as well, but since then he's been spot on, no mistakes, doing his job. So I'd say Thiago Silva so far. It would have been Ziyech probably if he's played more games. His injury has done him, but you can't say Ziyech because he's played less games, man. Like you can't really give his best play. But for me, Thiago Silva.
I think
And my dad again saying,
that's another thing with Lampard that I might add with like with his lineups, he's always chopping and changing. He's not got a fixed
yeah,
lineup.
yeah, yeah.
So he's either playing Ziyech one game, then the next game Callum Hudson-Odoi is into the team, or Pulisic is back in the team. Like he's not got a favored lineup. His midfield's always changing, always trying to find balance, and I think you can't keep doing that seven months into a season. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
7 months into the season, you're halfway through the season. You should have your favored lineup by now.
Yeah,
So
that was one of the questions that was asked to start the season. He's gonna have a good squad. People knew that,
yeah,
whether it's young players, whether it's players that have been there,
hmm
experienced players, how will he manage the players? And he hasn't done that well. Like even in the cup games, like some of the lineups are a bit iffy as well. You know what I mean? When you played against Barnsley, Morecambe, stuff like that. In Champions League as well, he hasn't really rotated properly. Only certain players, like he's kept. Obviously, his guys biasness towards Mount and stuff will start literally
that's
every.
true. Yeah,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
man's
Little
like his
stuff like that.
second son, isn't he?
I remember start of the season as well when we had no wingers fit. We had Hudson-Odoi on the bench with the man playing wing. That was one of the things that always used to. Man's a great young player. Don't get me wrong. He does bits, but when you overplay someone, it just
Yeah.
puts you up and it makes you, that's one of the mistakes he kept making as well, man. What can you say about it?
I guess we just got to move on to the next manager now,
Yeah,
which I
let's talk
think is
about him
Thomas
then.
Tuchel.
Who was your first, target after Lamps, and what would you think? How do you think Tuchel will perform? Well, let's talk about this season because no point in my next year yet.
Yeah. So obviously, come January, it's quite difficult to find a manager midway through the season.
Mm.
So obviously, Tuchel wasn't in an active job. He got sacked by PSG in this season. Obviously, he's had a lot of problems with boards before at Dortmund and at PSG recently. So that can always have a factor on the board because of Chelsea's board. You know how ruthless they are
Mm.
sacking managers, having problems, difficulties, and whatnot. So Tuchel wasn't my favorite option. I'll be honest with you. My favorite option was Julian Nagelsmann, the Leipzig manager. He's a young coach. He's only 33 years old, but he's been around for about a good 12 years. He started coaching when he was 22. He came up from the youth set up in I think it was Stuttgart. Yeah, he started coaching with Stuttgart and then moved to he got promoted to be their manager and then moved
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Hoffenheim, got them into safety and took up into the Champions League the season after, which is a big achievement for a team like Hoffenheim. And then you move to Leipzig, where you could just see the results there. Leipzig, what they're doing now is extraordinary in the
Yeah, yeah.
Bundesliga, challenging Bayern Munich for the title even. So Nagelsmann was my favorite choice because I think he's played with Werner before, so he would have got the best out of Werner as well. And he's always flexible, and he's got different tactics depending on each game. So he's got that flexibility is key, especially in the Premier League with different opposition, high lines, deep lines, low blocks. So yeah, Nagelsmann was my favorite option.
So if it wasn't for him, obviously he's with Leipzig right now, and he's
Yeah.
got big Champions League ahead as well with Liverpool and stuff. Liverpool as well.
Yep.
If it's not him, was Tuchel your second choice, or were you going for anybody else? Like, who was your second and third choice?
Ooh. I'd say I was stuck between Tuchel and I don't know if you've heard of the name Ralph Ragnick.
Yeah, yeah, but he's been a man.
Ralph Ragnick, he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the Leipzig manager before Nagelsmann. He's
Yeah.
also played with Werner. He's German. I thought maybe him on an interim basis just to steady the ship until the end of the season and
Mm.
go all out for Nagelsmann in the summer. So I think Tuchel would have been my third choice.
That's a fair point, I guess. Like mid-season is very hard to just get in managers. Tuchel was luckily available. If he was still at PSG, then wouldn't be able to get.
Exactly.
Maybe
And
Lampard.
coming into mid-season, it's quite hard to implement your style of play.
That's what I'm
With
saying.
games coming thick and fast every 3 days, so that's quite difficult, isn't it?
Well, Farouk, one of the comments as well, Farouk said Brendan Rodgers. That's a good shot as well. He's done bits like
He's a very underrated
he's
manager.
underrated. Yeah, that's something. It's
Yeah.
true. He's underrated. Like he done bits at Celtic. I know it's Celtic, but Liverpool, it's that slip that cost him, wasn't it? He was in charge then. He could have won the title for Liverpool.
Yeah,
that year.
yeah. He was
That's what I'm
the
saying.
man. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when Gerrard messed up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's had that. Sorry, Dad, if you're still watching, but he did cost the title.
To all the Liverpool fans there, don't need to bring up
Yeah,
bad
like
memories.
Rodgers is very underrated, man. Like with the way he's playing. You know what I like about Rodgers as well? He's very flexible with his formation and the players he picks. Like they're in Europa League this year, and when I watch him in Europa
Yeah.
League as well, he picks the right players. Like he knows how to rotate. And even in the league, like
I
the way
think he
he
promotes youth quite well as well. I think he's brought up quite good players
Yeah.
up in Leicester. James Justin made his spot at right back now.
Most managers would be scared to play Fofana as well, but he's put him straight in.
Yeah, from a new league straight in.
I'm
And
playing
he's
French
literally
league.
dominated it for Leicester at the back, hasn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Rodgers is actually someone that I wouldn't mind. Like, say if Tuchel doesn't work out, not doesn't work out, say if he doesn't carry on, until the next season, 100% someone who wouldn't mind. Harvey
I
Barnes as
think-
well, he's doing beats for Leicester.
I
as well.
think with Rodgers now though, would he want to leave Leicester with the setup he's got there, how long he's been there, with how they're doing really well at the moment in the league, in Europa League as well? Do you really think he want to leave Leicester like that? Or
You know what it is? I think it depends on how Leicester do this season. Like, I know they're smashing it right now. They've gone past the last 32 in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Depending on where they finish, if he gets like offer from a top 6 club or like someone big, I don't see why he wouldn't say no. Like, who knows? It depends on what he wants. He's been at Liverpool before. It's not like he hasn't coached a top 6 team, but Rogers
Obviously,
is
don't forget he's got a bit of a relationship with Chelsea in the past. He used to
yeah,
manage
exactly.
assistant manager with Mourinho back a day.
Exactly. He's been there, man. He's been there. But yeah, regarding Tuchel, for me, it was a no-brainer. When I take everything into context, because mid-season, there's not many managers available,
Yep.
like you said.
I think Max Allegri was a shout as well. So
Yeah, he was
get your
available.
thoughts on that as well.
Yeah. I'm not expecting him to come in and just do wonders and win us the league and whatnot. But where we are right now, he will do better than what Lampard's currently doing. Obviously, Tom will tell, but Tuchel, for me, 18-month contract is right. If they gave me longer than that, it wouldn't have been good. But let's see, like he knows the Germans well. He's played under Thiago. I mean, Thiago Silva played under him last year. He was the captain.
Yeah, that's right.
He brought Pulisic through, so he knows a few of the players. And he promotes youth as well. At PSG, I've seen a few stuff as well. Like he's promoting on the young players when he was in charge. And I don't think he got sacked from Dortmund and PSG. He had problems with the board. I think that's why he left. Like PSG were top the league this year, doing well, and that problem with the board, and obviously that don't look good as well for us because how Roman
Yeah.
is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's ruthless, isn't he?
That's what I'm saying. But for mid-season, for me, it's no-brainer. You can't do worse than this. Of course, there'll be games where he won't, the team won't do well because he's just come in. But hopefully, he can get the best out of the players we've got, especially the new
I was
sign.
gonna actually ask you as well. Do you think the German link that we've got in the team now is that like a big factor as to why he's came, or is it just the
For
lure
me,
of
right,
Chelsea?
with Werner and Havertz, like they're good players. We've seen it last year. Like it's not a fluke that they've smashed. Like Werner's been scoring goals left, right, and center. Like
Yeah,
surely he wasn't missing this many chances. Of course, he's a striker. He will miss chances, but when you look at his goals in the Bundesliga, they were literally bangers, like proper chances. He was taking them away. And
yeah.
if Tuchel does get the best out of Werner, like obviously Lampard was a factor in Werner not being confident in front of goal and stuff like that. But say if Tuchel comes in and Werner not all of a sudden but starts firing, will that be a coincidence or is the manager change actually help him? You know what I mean? But I think that will he bring the best out of him? I like to hope so, but I guess
Yeah.
time. I don't want to say yes or no because you can't predict it, man. You know what I
You
mean?
just don't know what might happen in the future.
We don't even know who the 11 is gonna be. Like we've got so many players
I
at the
was
club.
just gonna ask you a question regarding that.
Mhm.
So obviously with Tuchel coming in, we've got so much creativity on the bench, on
Yeah,
normally lineup.
that's what I'm saying.
What do you think? Who do you think is gonna get left out? Who's gonna be primary lineup, first name on the team sheet?
It's difficult. I think defense is clear enough. It'll be Reece James, Thiago Silva, Chilwell, Mendy. The other centre back it should be Zuma, but with the German link with Rudiger, you never know. Like
Yeah, does Rudiger get a call back? Does
that's what I'm
Jorginho
saying.
even come back? Because he was linked with PSG not long ago.
That's what I'm saying. I was about to
Stuff
say that
like
as well. Jorginho will probably get a more look in this year. Who knows? Because like you said, PSG wanted him when Tuchel was in charge.
Yep.
And players that might get affected, probably Mason Mount. He still play a lot of games, but I don't think he's gonna play 90 minutes every game now. Abraham as well, maybe. Who knows? Like that's the
Giroud,
thing.
like so many players you've got. Like, how
Yeah,
does he manage all these players? Because you've got quite a bloated squad, haven't you? Does he sell quite a few
yeah.
players now? Does he keep all the senior players? Does he still use the youth players? Like Hudson-Odoi has been on good form. Does he start with him? Does he go back to
Mm.
Pulisic, Ziyech on the wings? Do you start Werner back in strike? Or Abraham's just got a hat trick? So all these decisions he's got to make these.
But the one thing I don't want to keep going on Lampard, but one thing I don't understand is how come the squad never got trimmed? Like there was so much. There's so many players that are not on the bench right now, like Marcus Alonso and Drinkwater just left. There's a few more. I don't know who else there is, but there's so many players that are just sitting there ending their wage doing nothing. Why haven't like Christiansen as well still here? Like why is he still here? Like you don't understand. Like it's easy to send these players out alone. It's not like these
Maybe no one wanted them. Maybe they've been that terrible for us. Nobody wanted them. Who knows?
But look
It's
at
just
Drinkwater though. He just left to some next Turkish team. Like players, do you want teams? Do you want these players? It's not. I don't know, man. We've got such a
I
big
think
squad.
I think Rudiger was very close to leaving in the summer, wasn't he? I think Tottenham were linked to him. A few other
See,
clubs.
with Rudiger, this is what I don't understand. There was a quote from Lampard, I think before December, that he's either fifth choice centre back or first choice, along them
Right.
lines. And then in the last two games, he started. Like,
That's what baffled me as well. The two
oh, man.
consecutive starts in the league. So why
But
would if he's your fifth choice centre back, you've let Tomori go to AC Milan.
that's
Bear in
what I'm
mind, he
saying.
was one of the standout players last year. Gave his debut, played for England last year, and
Mhm.
now he just got frozen out on the squad. Like, is there something behind the scenes, or is it a player power issue maybe in the dressing room? Who knows? It's like,
I guess as a rival fan, I can understand in a way where people say you didn't give him enough time. But obviously, as a fan, as a Chelsea fan, we're the one who's watching the games every weekend. You can
yeah.
understand where it's going and stuff. But Tushan, man, hopefully he can sort us, man.
I am excited. I am excited for what
I,
lies
of
ahead.
of course. Yeah. It's just like I said, Lampard. I wish it worked out, man. Like,
I really did, because obviously, as a club legend as well, obviously you do want the best for him. But obviously, like you said, don't judge him as a player, judge him as a manager. And as you're
like you,
going with the manager, he just had to go. It was
like me,
inevitable.
you as well. Like, we backed him when he's done well. Like, it's not like we haven't backed him when he's done well.
Yeah,
We've
of course,
backed his case. You know what I mean?
100%.
We get friends, cousins, whoever. We backed his case, but
Yeah.
if he's not doing well, you gotta be realistic about it and be like, okay, look, it's not looking great, and you know, time has come up,
I
unfortunately.
think in his last 8 games, he's only won 3 games, and 2 of them win FA Cup against lower league opposition. So it's not really a
And
good
one of
start
them
to
was
the league, is
Fulham,
it?
which again the
And
red,
one Fulham against
he's
10
playing
men.
the red card, but until the red card, it was an open game, and
Yeah,
you know what
that
I
could have
mean?
gone either way.
Exactly. But Wolves next, and we don't know
Yep,
if
Wednesday evening.
Tuchel is gonna be there. That's the thing. He probably will be in the stadium, but don't know if he's gonna be on the dugout.
Yeah, I think there's different reports flying about. We just don't know what to believe right now. So
I
just gotta
think
hope
we've
until
got
Wednesday.
we've got Tottenham after after Wolves, haven't we? Is it Tottenham we've got?
No, we've got. I think we've got Burnley first, and then Tottenham after that. So I think he's got about 2 weeks until the Tottenham game. I think that Tottenham game he wants to make a statement, doesn't he? Could go off with a bang, maybe.
Yeah, I think we've in the next 4 or 5 fixtures we've got like Burnley, Wolves. I think is it Sheffield or Newcastle as well in one of them? I don't know which one it is. One of them
I think
teams.
that they are favoured opposition, so they are good teams that we can just rack up
Yeah,
them points,
it's not a difficult
try and
run
get
and it's
higher.
not an easy run. So he's got that,
Yeah,
middle ground. And then I think in mid-Feb, that's when it goes a bit peaky. We got Atletico, we got
and
United.
Liverpool,
That's what
United,
I'm saying.
all in a space of the same month.
Got
Yeah,
about 3 4 weeks until them games. But one thing as well before we finish, who's Jerry from Whoop? Welcome to the stream. Do you know who that is? But yeah, what I was gonna say, yeah, one thing I'm excited about is his Champions League. He's been in the Champions League, went to the
yeah.
final last year, and Atletico, obviously, the defensive team. I think with him in charge, we've got a better chance than Lampard. I know I don't want to say again, but I can't wait for that as well. I mean, I'm excited for that to see how well he does.
Attack v defense that game, isn't it? So they like to sit back. And
Did
just
he
kind
play
of
last year against Atletico? They not Atletico, did they? I don't think they did.
PSG.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
No, I don't think they played Atletico. No,
No.
they had quite an easy run into it. They had Leipzig, Atlanta. I can't remember the other team as well. Obviously,
Yeah.
Bayern Munich in the final.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's about it. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Nothing. All you can say is just wish Lampard the best in the future. Hopefully, he can get back into
man.
management soon. I'd love to see him, man. I'll always follow him wherever club he goes, and maybe in the future he'll come back to the club and with more experience and whatnot, manages better in the future.
Yeah,
But
like
for now, it's just a farewell.
yeah, people will actually be like, "There's no way he's coming back," or laugh at it. But Mourinho, same thing happened with him.
Yeah, he came back
That's what I'm saying.
twice, so you never.
With the Roman, he just, you know what I mean. You never know. So there's always a chance if he does do well in other, leagues and gains a bit of experience in coaching. You never know, man. You never know. But then I probably have kids as well, so who knows? But yeah, man, it's been a good chat. We do more of these. Next one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Probably next one. Let's see how the games go on.
Yeah.
Maybe before the Champions League, we'll do another one with a few of the other lads as well. Me, you, United, Liverpool, whoever.
Perfect.
But yeah, it's been a good one. Take care of yourself, man.
Take care, man.
Yeah, see you later, man.
See you later, man. See you later.
Yeah.